everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the NFC Championship game on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, the playoffs are back at Lambeau, and the temps, well, they're where you would expect them in the frigid range. Just how the Cheeseheads like it here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Green Bay Packers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
One of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl in 2 weeks' time. Which will it be as we're underway in the NFC title game? Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the former Cal Bear, Aaron Rodgers.
I remember meeting him when he was playing at Cal, and I remember walking away thinking, instead of having Rodgers stitched on the back of his jersey, it should just say, and his ability to elevate a team.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's 2nd down. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
So many weapons on this offense, and we've seen them all season long score from any point on the field. But we all know playoff football comes down to playing smart. The game slows down, and it's harder to move it. So you've got to avoid penalties, avoid turnovers, and not let your emotions get the best of you.
On 2nd down, it's Jones. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Jadeveon Clowney was the #1 pick in the NFL draft, and it was with good reason. An absolute athletic freak. Now he's trying to add consistency to his game.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Shotgun now for Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And boy, he is very close to a 1st down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. Out of bounds and close. The question, was it a touchback? No. They'll say it crossed out at the 2-yard line. Excellent placement, and off that bounce, Charles, I didn't know where it was going to go. It can be an inexact science as to where they place it, but they say the 2-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know how they really determined that. And let's face it, at the end of that play, one side's going to be happy, the other team's going to be unhappy. So, what do they do, shorten the hypotenuse? I mean, how do they figure that out? You know that stuff. You're the smart guy.
Oh, that's you, partner. Adrian Amos up to make the tackle. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now it's Carson. And he'll get this up past the 5 to the 7-yard line. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And taken right at the 35. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll run on 1st down. It's Jones. About 3 yards there to the 27.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
From the 27, Rodgers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you. And that may have been what happened there.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down now, it's Carson. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense, because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run it with Carson. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
That's taken on the 25. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Rodgers making the catch is Sternberger.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter as a good running back dive play.
56, check 56. There's your party now.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers firing quickly here, and that's complete. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And this is good for a first down. His 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I just figured there's something wrong with the football.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. After the penalty, it's Jones. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. We're scoreless after 1. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd down and 11.
I don't think you got it, son. Rush in. 26. Over. Check 56.
On 2nd and 11 now. Rodgers. Jones has it. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Hey, check 26.
On 3rd and long, it's Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 24-yard line.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Check.
Throwing on 2nd down. Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line. Seems as if the passing attack's starting to heat up a little bit here in the 2nd quarter.
You can sense and you can see the momentum because now they're reading their patterns downfield, they're understanding the coverages, and they're finding the open holes in the defense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Off the play fake to Jones. Here's Rodgers. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, they'll force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Again, he was looking for Devontae Adams, and it's third down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
The Packers on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be third and a mile. On play action, it's Rodgers. That is caught inside the 5. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They do get 18, but even that won't be quite enough. It's fourth down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first.
Check the ball right.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Touchdown, Packers. From 3 yards out, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Crosby with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
On second down and 4, Wilson. This complete to Lockett. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 22 yards there, a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught inside the 15. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one. For an offense that has not found the end zone yet, that's a big play.
There's the spark right there. The big play that they needed. Now they've got to go ahead and finish this drive and put this ball in the end zone.
And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Carson. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pick up a 3. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line. Rashawn Gary coming in to drop him for a loss of 8. And it also brings up 4th. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon, and think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It is tough to complete pass against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10.
Mike 56, Mike 56.
Working from the gun, Rodgers. The left side throw complete to Adams. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On second and very short, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. That one, a first down pickup of 8. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual. As we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On second and 7, Rodgers is complete to Jones. And here he'll get it down to the 7. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the first down as he's tackled at the 1. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Kill. Hey, turn it up.
Now Jones. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Punching it in from a yard away. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains in the Battle of the Sea. He will take home that George Halas Trophy and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half, as one of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. To find out who, let's turn it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Halas Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They could not contain Kenny Clark as he gets home for the sack. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. This offense thankful, I'm sure, to have the football back, but also, Charles, after a long drive of their own, they've got to be a little weary.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and what you have to do to combat it, try and get fresh legs in where you can, especially the skill positions. And then for the offensive line, instead of attacking, maybe slow the tempo down a little bit, let them catch their breath.
Here's Jones, and he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. Now Rodgers. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Ball on the 30 as they come up second and 10. Rodgers now going to throw again. It's caught. Smith. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Jonnu Smith, 30 yards. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long. And they made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like a Super Bowl trip is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. Extra point try now for Crosby. And it's 21-3. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. Wilson throwing quickly out to Lockett. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now it's Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And this is good for a 1st down. His 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Wilson now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Rodgers now to throw. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Jadeveon Clowney in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Now it's Rodgers. Complete. Smith has it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one good for 24 yards.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On play action, now Rodgers. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. To throw, it's Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Davante Adams, 32 yards. And the Packers. Able to stretch that lead out further. Now Crosby for the point after. And they open the lead up now to 25 points. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. This is Carson. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
Well, they did throw interceptions on their last 2 drives, so no surprise at all they decided to start it with a running play. I'm actually a little bit surprised, though, that they got as much out of it as they did.
Yeah, decent little gain. Puts them in a pretty good spot for 2nd down. They run again with Carson. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's our field. It's our field. Hey, it's our house.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know, the rhythm seems off.
We play to win. Let's go.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. And you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the 3rd quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Watch the edge. Go, Nate! Go, Nate!
Here's Rodgers to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Throwing now is Rodgers. Caught by Jones. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot, and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
From the 31, Rodgers. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
To throw is Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Here we go. Here we go.
They'll run it with Jones. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here. How about the timing on that one, where they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Draw play. This is Carson. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. 1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Let's get off the field. Let's get off the field.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Strip that ball. Check.
On the delay, here's Carson. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wilson. And now a fumble. The ball's out. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. Exactly right. A lost opportunity.
And this is good for a first down. His 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And that will get out of bounds. Lucky there. They keep possession inside the 5.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They were the 46 defense, just plugging up the middle.
And you know what the 46 means, right? That means you take up the first 3 guys, the center and the 2 guards. You cover them with your big people up front. I don't understand why you're trying to run up the middle against the 46 defense. The old Bears showed us it wasn't able to be done. They didn't get it done on that one either.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal. Here's Wilson to throw. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Adrian Amos with a pick. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35. Oh, Charles, after that interception in the Super Bowl from the 1-yard line, I thought Pete Carroll would run it inside the 5 every time.
Sometimes I wonder if maybe Pete did want to run it inside the 5. But Russell Wilson, you know he's such a competitor that he doesn't want that interception to stand, that maybe he wanted to be in that spot to hold it a second. I can throw a touchdown pass. Instead, he's victimized again.
In on the stop, Bradley McDougald.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there. Back north. Watch twins. Watch twins.
Rodgers going to throw. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And it's a fumble. And the Seahawks have recovered.
Oh, we got it.
Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. Za'Darius Smith coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Josh Jackson. The 20, 10, and into the end zone. It's a pick 6 and a Packer touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Chris Carson trotting back out there. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Offense.
Now they nab the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Taken in at the 22. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
On 1st down, Jones. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
Haven't met a defensive coordinator yet that thinks 2nd and 2 is a fun situation to try and defend. Playbook is wide open for an offense, partner.
Nice job. Hold him to 1 after that 8-yard pickup on 1st down. Again, it's Williams. Yeah, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Get 300. Get 300.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. It's caught. Jones. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays that have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
And they will take a knee here.
On the ready. Double time, double time. We got 4. We got 4.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So 1st and 2nd down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. And they get to hoist the Hallis Trophy. Unbelievable victory, moving on to the Super Bowl.
I only hope that these players understand exactly who is behind that trophy. George S. Hallis, one of the creators of this great game of football of ours and creator of the NFL. What an amazing feeling and an amazing accomplishment.
And that will do it for this one. For Charles Davis, myself, and the entire crew, we'll see you in 2 weeks at the Super Bowl.